What's the biggest practice hack on guitar that allows you to make faster progress than 90% of other players out there? If you subscribe to this channel, you probably know my answer to that: working on the right exercises. So with today's video, I want to show you some really helpful daily workouts with a special focus on getting a lot of value out of shorter practice routines, because I know not all of you awesome people have hours and hours to practice guitar every single day. But I promise, even if you have half an hour or less every single day to practice, you will get some amazing results if you work with these exercises. Let's get started. So the concept is avoiding string transitioning problems that occur with different picking patterns on each string. So you're replacing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and so on with down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So the same pattern for each string. With economy picking, I recommend working on the transition between two strings at first, before you actually try to apply it to your own licks or to full scale positions. So level 1 and exercise 1 is all about getting a feeling for the transition between the string with that downstroke, kind of sweep picking approach. So as you can see, I'm not playing like this. It feels very counterintuitive to play two downstrokes in a row like this. So the trick is that I'm actually sweeping right here. So I'm not playing two individual downstrokes, I'm sweeping across the strings. So I'm just letting my hand fall. Basically, there's not a lot of attack with my wrist, just like with sweep picking. So with this beginner exercise, just make sure to avoid playing individual downstrokes for the strings like this, and just go for a small and relaxed sweeping motion. With level 2, you can focus on playing more notes on the higher string, so not just that one note. Instead of that, you can start working on your first little scale phrase that you can move across the neck. So I'm essentially completing the 3-note per string scale position on the G string instead of just playing one note. And to make this more challenging, I'm also switching between 16th note triplets and 16th notes. So once you can do that, you can start moving this economy picking pattern across the neck through different scale positions like this. So that immediately sounds much more awesome and more practical as well. And absolutely every guitar player that cares about technique should be able to do this. By the way, my friend, if you enjoy these free YouTube videos that I post on here, but you're actually serious about your guitar progress and want to become my guitar student for real, we just opened up a couple of new limited slots in my online guitar academy on patreon.com/burned. The link is down below. We're keeping this awesome community small and special on purpose so that I can still personally interact with all the awesome personal coaching members over there. Signing up today with the link down below is the best thing you can do for your guitar progress in 2025, because you get access to my premium guitar technique courses, my music theory courses, and even my home recording courses. So I'm waiting for you inside my actual online guitar academy. Click the link below, join today. I'll see you over there, but for now, let's continue with the video. Alright, for level 3, you want to add another string change to your exercises, because we only worked with 2 strings so far. And of course, the biggest goal is to use this technique for all kinds of scale phrases all across the neck and all across the different strings. So for this level, you also want to add the B string, so that you have 3 strings to work with. So the picking pattern for this is down, up, down, down, up, down, down. And you always want to make sure to have that small sweeping motion in there, because it's impossible to play this fast when you have 2 downstrokes in a row. It also gets a bit messy if you play like this. So once you can apply this economy picking pattern to 3 strings, you can start moving the pattern around with your fretting hand. This would actually be kind of hard to play with alternate picking, of course. You really have to focus on the string transitions and picking angles in order to play this fast. So at this point you might be asking yourself, well, why not work with economy picking all the time if it's easier? Great question. I prepared a really helpful list of pros and cons when it comes to both techniques for the end of this video. This will actually help you out a lot with deciding when to apply either of those techniques. So let's continue with level number 4 and exercise number 4. Now it's time to turn this pattern around, because you also want to work on your descending economy picking technique. So the next step is playing 2 notes on the G string and 2 notes on the D string. So down, up, down. And this is a really cool picking pattern that you can loop like this. Down, up, down, up, down. And once you connect that with your fretting hand, you can play something like this. Which can make phrases like this a bit easier than the traditional down-up approach. Sounds similar, but the economy picking approach is a bit more relaxed. So to get a bigger and more practical exercise out of this, I recommend moving it through a scale once again. So this is a really cool economy picking pattern to keep in mind, especially for 2-note per string licks. And you guessed it, for level 5 you want to work on an exercise that combines those two directions of economy picking. So you could pick an ascending phrase like this, and then combine it with a descending approach like this. So here's the full lick. When you practice this one, pay close attention to the economy picking pattern. It might be a bit confusing at first and you don't want to mix economy picking with alternate picking for this one, because it's really effective for just working on economy picking since you have both directions in there. So as soon as you have that basic pattern memorized, you can start moving it through the scale again for one of today's most challenging workouts. And so on. You can find the full exercise play along of this workout on Patreon. It's a really good and quite challenging one, so make sure to work on it. And for level 6, I would suggest applying economy picking to full 3-note per string scales. This is probably what you will need most in a practical context when it comes to this technique. So it's a great idea to start out with this by taking 2 different scale positions. And to further familiarize yourself with this playing style, you can just stick to the ascending approach for now. This is exactly what the 5-minute practice routine I recorded for you on Patreon is all about. So if you work on today's beginner and intermediate exercises for a couple of days and then switch to the full economy picking workout for a couple of weeks, you will master this technique easily, and trust me, it's a lot of fun to play like this. So if economy picking is so easy and awesome, why not always work with this technique? Aside from all the positive things I said in this video, of course, there are also some downsides. I personally didn't really find a good way of applying this to string skipping yet. And after trying out a lot of my licks with this picking approach, I found that I couldn't apply it to all of them. So for me and my music, and my licks at least, I still have to go with alternate picking for most of the crazier lines with lots of different transitions and details in them. For me, it's not so much about alternate picking versus economy picking, like only picking one of these. I had some really cool new and quite different ideas and licks when I was preparing this economy picking video. Let me know in the comments if you want more economy picking on the channel. At the end, your random German word for today is Kraft. That means strength. Make sure to share this one in the comments below, and I will see you again in the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye bye.